trivia. Thanks for being here. And you remember the show Family Affair with Mr. French and Buffy and Sissy and Jodie and Uncle Bill. Here's one on Family Affairs. Jodie Whitaker, Johnny Whitaker, who played Jodie on Family Affair. He opened up about the passing of Anissa Jones, her tragic passing. It was and giving Jodie Foster that first on-screen kiss. Johnny Whitaker, the redheaded, freckled-faced boy who gained fame as Jodie Davis on Family Affair, began his screen career at age 3, so he was already a pro when at 6 years old he starred on the show opposite his on-screen sister, Anissa Jones. At the Mid-South Nostalgia Festival in June, Whitaker reflected on his memories of Jones, who passed tragically in '76, as well as how he ended up on the show in the first place. A story that involves his role in the 1966 film, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming, which also featured one of his Family Affair co-stars, Brian Keith. Brian's hotel room was right next door to mine, Whitaker told the audience in Olive Branch, Mississippi, at the Mid-South Nostalgia Festival. After work, he would knock on my door and ask my mom if I could come out to play, and he and I would go into the parking lot and throw a ball and have a good time. He told my mother that he was getting ready to do a TV series and would like me to be seen for it. My agent called and discovered they were looking for a 10-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl. Maybe we can put the 6-year-olds together. My agent claims it was her idea. Brian claims it was his. When I screen tested with Anissa Jones, the producer said, "This is magic. It's going to be twins, Buffy and Jodie." Our chemistry was so good, and we really did look like twins, even though Anissa was 2 years older. Family Affair, which aired from '66 to '71, told the story of 3 orphan children, Johnny, Anissa, and Kathy Garber as Sissy, who came to live in New York, high-rise apartment with their bachelor Uncle Bill, played by Brian, as well as his gentleman's gentleman, Mr. French, played by Sebastian Cabot. According to Whitaker, their relationship was rather close to the one the fictional Jodie and Bill enjoyed. Brian was a wonderful man, like an Uncle, Whitaker's recalled. He loved the kids, hated the adults, hated everything about Hollywood, but loved his job, loved the fact that he could act and do what he wanted to do. He would pick us up from the schoolroom, throw us on his back, and we'd horsey into the set. Sebastian was Canadian, but trained and worked in London. He always said that the actor prepares, Whitaker added. If we wanted to play, he would say, "I'm happy to run lines with you, but you know we don't dilly-dally." And he was perfect, Mr. French. And he was smart. During the scenes with us kids, you'll notice he's usually stroking his beard, which pulled focus to him. He was a wonderful man and a good man, but he was business, and Brian was, let's just enjoy ourselves and have a good time. Whitaker shared some unusual memories of shooting the series, including how they filmed 9 months of the year, but Brian Keith only had to be present for 3 months. So all 26 or 27 episodes had to be scripted and ready before they started filming, he said. Brian would shoot all his scenes in those 3 months, and the next 6 months it was just Anissa, Sebastian, Kathy, and myself, and whatever guests we would have. Anissa liked to act, but she was more like Brian. She didn't like doing the publicity. We had Buffy and Jodie a line of clothing, and on our hiatus, we'd go around the country doing fashion shows. She did not really like that adultation. Whitaker later appeared in many shows like Bonanza, Marcus Welby, Gunsmoke, Bewitched. In '73, he portrayed the title character in a musical version of Tom Sawyer. I wasn't supposed to do that film, Whitaker remembered. I was a Boy Scout, and I planned to attend Boy Scout camp. The problem was the start of the film was the 3rd day of camp, and I didn't want to miss it. The producers made the agreement that I would go to camp for 4 days, then fly to Missouri on the 5th day. I'd only miss 1 day of camp. I gratefully agreed. It was very embarrassing. They sent a helicopter to the camp and flew me to LAX. Jodie Foster played Becky Thatcher. She and I worked together in the movie the year before, called Napoleon and Samantha, with Michael Douglas and Will Geer. But in Tom Sawyer, I have the honor and distinction of giving Jodie Foster her first on-screen kiss. And then she turned gay, Johnny teased. Following the film, Johnny worked in Sid and Marty Krofft's Sigmund and the Sea Monster from '73 to '75. His career was in full swing. Meanwhile, his twin, Anissa, had a more difficult time. Brian Keith offered her a role in his new show, but she declined, eager to take a break from acting. In 1975, she was offered the role of Iris in Taxi Driver. By then, Anissa was floundering, influenced by a bad crowd she'd fallen in with. The part went to Jodie Foster. Months later, in 1976, at just 18 years old, Anissa died from a drug overdose. Anissa's death really shook me up. I was a good Mormon boy and decided to get out of show business. I went on a mission to Portugal, and when I came home, I decided to get back in business, but the business doesn't like when you leave it, Whitaker shared. It doesn't mind leaving you, but if you leave it, you don't recover easily. And the business is just cruel, and the business is, I'd say, probably a big part of the reason Anissa Jones overdosed. For some reason, and the only thing I can figure is how they're treated by Hollywood. Because if you really look at the child actors and actresses, man, there ain't many of them that come out good, other than maybe Ron Howard and a few others, Jerry Mathers. But most of them, their parents were right there on the set. So, you know, and they weren't, you know, back then they weren't stage parents. They were parents' parents. Anyway, all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video. I appreciate it. Have a great day. God bless you. I'm praying for you.